If I was gonna build or buy a new construction home in Kansas City, this is exactly where I do it. These are some of the best lots in the entire metro area. And this is Bristol Highlands, part in Lenexa, part in Shawnee, Kansas. You got beautiful views. A lot of these lots, they're walkouts, which I know a lot of you are looking for. You've also got a tree line in the back of most of them with at least some green space or some privacy. It really doesn't get better than this. Now, this is the second community video that we've done on Bristol Highlands. We did one back in April of 2024. Fast forward to October, they are moving through this development very, very quickly. We're gonna show you some of the updated progress, how the community's changed, and some of the new plans for even more lots that aren't even available just yet. So if you're interested in building a new home in Kansas City, keep watching because this is one of the best options in the entire metro area right now. Now, before we break all of that down, if we haven't met yet, my name's Nick.
I'm Jordan.
We help people buy and build new homes right here in Kansas City. We're excited to show you this one. Big thank you to the on-site agents as well as the developers, J.S. Robinson, Don Julian. They've got some beautiful communities around Kansas City. We'll include a link down below in the description to all of our property tours because we found some pretty good ones here that we didn't get in the last one. So make sure to check the description. Of course, call, text, email any questions about buying or building a new home. We love scouting new lot options like this. We have many more where this comes from, so make sure to reach out. We'll get all that information over to you. Now, in case you haven't seen the first community video on Bristol Highlands, we are well underway here. I wanted to include a little section about the location, which this community is unique. It's actually split between two cities.
Yep, Lenexa and Shawnee, the line actually runs right through the middle of Bristol Highlands here.
This area, if you're looking for more of a small town feel, things that are more spread out, beautiful outdoor amenities, and even some of the best views in Kansas City, this would be it. You're seeing the drone footage, a lot of treetops, a lot of elevation changes. It almost doesn't feel like Kansas.
No, it's not flat here.
No, it's definitely not flat, but you do have a ton of amenities nearby. One, you got 3 and 2 baseball. We're on the west side of that. The other side of 3 and 2, you got Shawnee Mission Park.
You have Shawnee Mission Park, which is absolutely huge, over 1,600 acres. They have a lake and trails and everything you can think of.
Dog park, you can rent kayaks, paddle boards, all kinds of stuff. Another one just minutes away, you've got the Lenexa City Center.
Yep, Lenexa City Center, they've been developing that for the last several years now. Tons of shopping and restaurants, things to do.
Yeah, they've got the food court where if you can't decide what to eat, if there are some disagreements, you got a ton of different options inside of there. You've also got live music on some weeknights, weekends, brand new library, brand new rec center, ton to do there. And then of course, all of West 87th Street, you got shops up and down there. So you're also close to, a lot of parks in Lenexa, Lake Lenexa, Black Hoof Park. Like if you're into the outdoors, if you want to be outside, if you're a dog person, this would be the area of town that I'm almost certainly looking at buying or building a home in. Now, what you're seeing right now, this is the new phase of the estates section. The nice thing about this community, Jordan, J.S. Robinson, Don Julian, these guys know what they're doing.
Excellent builders, excellent developers.
That's right. You've got 4 different neighborhoods, twin villas starting in the 500s. You've got the villas, which are maintenance provided. I know those are popular.
Yep.
Those are starting around the 800s. The Manors, single family homes, not maintenance provided. Those are around the 700s and up. They've got some great lot price, some great lot sizes. You almost would think that that's the estate section. And then you've got the estates about 900 plus. These are some of the best lots available, and quite a few are reserved right now.
Yep, so talking to the on-site agent, quite a few on this street are reserved, and these are all beautiful walkout treed lots. And with the reservations, a lot of people, they'll reserve early. Maybe they end up not purchasing that lot and building a home. They buy elsewhere or they buy a different lot in the community.
Yeah, it's about a 50-50 coin flip. So if you see a lot of lots reserved, don't worry, that shouldn't scare you because there's a good chance it's gonna fall out of reservation. And these are some really good options here. Now, the nice thing about the estates, you've got Don Julian, J.S. Robinson. We've toured a lot of their different homes. We'll put some clips from the models on the screen, but like we said in the beginning of the video, we'll link a full playlist, all the property tours. I know my favorite. Jordan, what was your favorite model? We'll show some clips on the screen.
The favorite model that probably that Del Mar, man. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't been watching the videos for that long, Jordan, he's just started doing the videos with me. And this is the first time we've walked through like maybe 10, 30 homes so far. This is the first time he really lit up. So we finally got something out of him on that one. I'd say my favorite, definitely the Cortland reverse. I think they did a great job. One of the most beautiful
Super
entries.
nice home. I mean, you've got the courtyard, really nice laid out plan as well.
Right, so we'll link those down in the description below, but it's nice to know you do have these beautiful lots. You got some really great builders as well. And here in part number 2, we're actually gonna jump over to the Manors, because I know in a lot of these communities, Jordan, sometimes there's a really big step down from the estate lots to the manor lots, and I don't think that's the case at all here.
All right, guys, so whenever you're out there looking for a lot, right here on the curb, they painted 108, 109. So this is lot 108 and 109. And then what they do is they put a saw cut in the curb, and that points in the direction of the lot line. So that way you can get an idea on what you're looking at.
Exactly, and that's important. This early on, they're not all marked for you. One of the things that I can tell you that we do for our clients, if you're thinking about building, make sure to reach out. You can never really get a good look at a lot in person. You need to see it from bird's eye view. So we actually get out there with you. We'll take drone photos of several different lots so you can see the elevation changes, a whole different perspective. And you know, with a lot of these communities, not necessarily this one, but when you've got a tree line like this, you kind of want to know how thin the tree line is, how thick it is, what's on the other side, could that ever come down? And that's one of the things that's really important. Picking the best lot, that's probably the most important part of building a home, because you can change everything else except for that lot. And the Manors. So we included a little bit of this info in the introduction. Manors, 700 plus. I've seen homes all the way up over $1 million here. And the large reason why that's possible and why it makes sense, these are some really good lots as well. So Jordan, if you come this way with me, you know what I love the most about this Manor section specifically?
The trees, right?
Well, yeah, the trees are nice, but they're doing something in this community that not every community does. This is actually open to all approved builders. So if you have a floor plan in mind, if you've been working with an architect or another builder, you're not limited here. As long as they're solid builder, as long as they meet the community requirements, they should be able to get in here and build for you. Of course, on top of that, you've also got a really good lineup of builders right here in the Manors. We'll put all the info on the screen right here. You've got J.S. Robinson building a few of these. Newmark, which is also owned by Don Julian. You got Chris George. You've got Rob Washam, some prestigious builders around the Kansas City area. But of course, having the flexibility, being able to bring in an outside builder, that's a super nice touch as well.
Lot prices here in the Manors, they range from 118 to 180. And look at these views, Nick. I mean, where are you gonna get that anywhere else for that kind of money?
I know, and the nice thing, and I talk to a lot of my clients about this, you know, when we're talking about a lot like this one behind us, right? You got the tree line, but there's some dead space between the end of your lot line and where the HOAs land in. So that's all kind of usable space that you get access to, but it's completely private for you. So I almost always recommend, if you're gonna fence the yard, I'd have to do that for my dog, but if you're gonna fence the yard, put a gate in the back so you can access some of this. It's also nice, you don't have to pay for it. HOA maintains a lot of that space, but it's really hard to, that's like really one of the only ways that you can buy, you know, a third of an acre lot that feels like a half acre, something like this right here. I mean, this is just beautiful. The other thing, and this applies to building a home anywhere, not just this community, but Jordan, I wanted to break down, you know, a flat lot versus daylight versus walkout, because that's a big deal. And if you run pricing for any of these homes, the lot can really add up, and it's a lot more than the sticker price of purchasing the lot. So if you come down here, like right here, I know we'll show some drone footage, but you got a pretty steep decline. This is a walkout lot, which means that lower level walks right out to the backyard. You know, when you've got a steep decline like this, you can run into additional dirt hauling expenses. You might have to pier a foundation here or there. And on top of that, with a walkout, you're gonna get a deck off the main floor. You might do deck stairs down, but you're also gonna have a patio. You've got the doors, the windows downstairs in that lower level. So it's just more infrastructure costs. And Jordan, you know, the kind of ballpark range that I see is anywhere around 30, sometimes upwards of 50 grand just for those additional pieces of the, it adds a lot of function, but it also adds up the cost, and it's something to know about. So as much as I know everybody loves the walkouts, that's one thing you really got to keep in mind. In terms of a flat lot, we've got a great example right across the street. Right, this is the more traditional lot that you'd see. You got a patio off the main floor, basement's fully underground. And these are really oftentimes the most predictable to build on. You're not gonna have as many site costs depending on the area. So if you're looking for a really nice home, maybe you don't care about the walkout, you don't care about having a deck, maybe you don't like decks, my inspector doesn't, he hates them, but this would be a much more controllable type of lot to build on, in between a walkout and a flat lot. Jordan.
Yeah, you've got the daylight lot, which, you don't have, you could create a walkout with one. You don't have that natural walkout, and you do have the nice natural light with the daylight windows.
Yeah, you'll have some windows above ground down in the lower level. And then typically we see a deck off the main floor. So there is some cost, but it's not gonna be usually as much as a walkout lot. So when it comes to choosing the right place to build your home, that's a very important one. The cost can definitely differ. I love walkout lots. If I couldn't get a walkout, I'd do a sunken patio, and I'll show you a clip of what that looks like. I think that's a solid option. I think Jordan's on board.
They are very, very cool, and we are gonna show you guys one in another video.
Yeah, we are. So make sure to subscribe so you see that video. But that's all for the Manors. I think some really competitive lot options here. They come at a lower price, pretty reasonable price, because I know there's one other master plan community, Canyon Lakes, where the price is gonna be a little bit higher. You have some good lot options there, but this is really tough to beat. So we're gonna hop over to the twin villas and the villas, show you some of the progress there, and we'll show you some drone footage in the meantime.
All right, guys, in this part of the video, we're gonna show you the villa section of Bristol Highlands. So right now we are in the standalone section. Over the way there, you can see the twin villas. I don't know if you can get a shot of that there, Nick.
We'll do drone footage on the screen. So when you say standalone villas, he means like a single family home. So they're not attached, they're detached. But that's an important distinction.
Yep, that is correct. The twin villas start in the 500s with lot prices from 85 to 105. And then the villa lots, not that much more, starting at $100,000 all the way up to 175.
And this is one of the new phases. You're on a nice cul-de-sac. A lot of these are walkout lots and just beautiful. So at those prices, these are villa lots, so they're a little bit smaller. Maintenance provided though, which is nice. So maintenance-free, stress-free living.
Yep, getting the lawn care and the snow all taken care of for you for $225 a month?
$225 a month. They de-winterize the sprinkler system. There's a lot that's included. It's important to note, if you see maintenance provided, it does not always mean that like stucco or like the roof or stuff like that. We're talking soft maintenance, which adds quite a bit of convenience. Of course, these are brand new homes. You do have the 1-year warranty, so you are covered for a lot of that stuff that pops up in the first year. But the interesting thing, Jordan, I know it was back before I brought you onto the channel. When I was here in April of this year, we didn't have any of the Lambie twin villas to show. And now they're well underway. They've got like 5 or 6 up. They've sold several of them, and they've made quite a bit of progress. In this villa section, they had pretty much sold out the first major phase of the community. And we've still got a couple villa specs up left if you need something move-in ready. But this is a prime place to build because there's not much of a big difference between the privacy, how good these lots are compared to the estates, which in a lot of communities, you'll notice a pretty steep drop off in lot quality. So that's certainly nice to see.
And where else are you gonna go, Nick? In Kansas City, like we've talked about already, where you get these rolling hills and these beautiful views.
Only Shawnee and Lenexa, some parts of West Olathe, but really this western edge of Johnson County is perfect for it. We talked about the builders in the other 2 neighborhoods in the community. So the estates, you got J.S. Robinson, Don Julian, the Manors. You've got a good builder lineup. It's open to approved builders. Here in the villa section, it's Don Julian, J.S. Robinson, and I believe it's open to all builders. And then the twin villas, those are Lambie. So actually here in a couple weeks, we're gonna do a tour of Regents Park in Leawood, Kansas, where they put up some of their first model villas there. Those are gonna be pretty nice, and I'm excited for it.
And I think there's, what, about 40 twin villas over there at Regents?
Yeah, there are like 30 some doors for the twins, but we'll get to that. Make sure you subscribe to see the video. Final part of the video, we've got the amenities. They're planning on putting these in by summer of 2026, which is nice. You've got two really good developers, Don Julian and J.S. Robinson. This is a tricky thing in some communities where if the developer is not as experienced or something goes wrong, the amenities that we've seen communities,
they can get delayed and people get upset.
People get very upset. So the nice thing is you've got two solid developers here. 2026, we'll put renderings on the screen. You're gonna have all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and they're gonna start those amenities in 2025, the installation. You're gonna have a resort-like pool. You're gonna have pickleball courts, playground, and a dog park.
Probably trails throughout that connects to the rest of Shawnee. And then of course, this is all in addition to some of the outdoor amenities. I think one of the things that a lot of people might be thinking about as well, I'd rather wait for the amenities to get in before I buy or build a home there. And I completely understand that. And if that's the case, maybe we can show you some other communities where you don't have to wait. But I think the major thing here is appreciation. Community selling really quickly. I mean, even from the past video we did in April of 2024, right now it's October, they've sold a lot. They've built a lot. They're moving very quickly through this. Part of that's because you've got great developers, multiple different neighborhoods. They're hitting every price point. The longer you wait, the higher the prices get. Once those amenities go in, we know exactly what happens.
Yep, you're going to get all the appreciation and everything else that comes along with that. And, the amenities here, the HOA fee is $975 a year, which is actually very, very reasonable, really good compared to some of these other communities I've seen.
That's pretty good. Now, I know in the video we've talked about some of the other neighborhoods in here. You do have the twin villas and the standalone villas. It's about $225 a month. You have the option to buy into the amenities here, so it's not all included in that $225, but that's a pretty reasonable price every month for snow removal, lawn care, water, turning the irrigation system on and off, all of that stuff that's included in it. Really, those maintenance provided homes are very popular now, but Manors in the estates, the HOA, really reasonable. We've seen other communities where it's upwards of $1,850 a month and you don't have amenities as nice as what's planned here. That's all for this one. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed it. We're gonna put two videos on the screen, including a property tour of this beautiful floor plan. It's got a courtyard in the main floor, which is pretty neat. But before I put those on the screen, make sure to leave a comment down below.
Yeah, guys, let us know what you think about this community. Let us know if there's a community out there that you'd like us to make a video on. We love to help our viewers out, so
any part of Kansas City doesn't just have to be Johnson County. We're always looking for new communities. We want to make sure we're putting out content you want to see. So leave a comment down below if there's anything that you want us to feature. And as always, if you're looking to buy or build a new construction home in Kansas City, is what we love to do. There are a whole lot of builders, a whole lot of communities, so many different floor plans. It's important you pick the right one because that determines exactly how well your home will live and how it'll appreciate. So make sure to reach out, phone call, text message, email. We'd love to set you up for success. And before you go, I promise is the last thing, two videos on the screen, property tour, Jordan's gonna point to it. This home, it's absolutely beautiful. And then we're gonna put a whole playlist full of all of our Bristol Highland videos right here. Click on one of those, we'll see you on the other side.